Welcome to the School of the Lost Tribes. Your charity helps generate the lessons needed to seal the chosen before the destruction.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Please subscribe to the new podcast hosted by me, Israelite Scribe, to all children of Israel, all brothers in the diaspora. This is a podcast for us all. No cowards allowed into the kingdom. Link in the description. Shalom.
Ashley Jana, whose real name was Ashley Robinson, was a 31-year-old woman from the United States who died under unclear and disputed circumstances while on a birthday and engagement trip in Zanzibar, Tanzania in April 2026. Just days earlier, she had celebrated a joyful milestone after becoming engaged to her fiancé, Joe McCann, during a safari, and she had been sharing positive messages online about entering a new chapter of her life. However, during their stay at a resort, reports indicate that the couple had a serious argument, which led hotel staff to separate them into different rooms. Shortly after, Ashley was found unresponsive in her villa and was later pronounced dead at a hospital. The cause of her death remains uncertain, with early claims suggesting possible self-harm, while other reports reference medical findings such as cerebral hypoxia and indications of possible strangulation, raising concerns about the true circumstances. Her family has strongly rejected the idea of suicide, describing her as happy and full of plans, and they are actively seeking further investigation, including access to surveillance footage and a clearer timeline of events. Authorities have questioned her fiancé and taken precautionary steps, but no charges have been filed, and the case remains under investigation as officials work to determine what truly happened. Online discussion about Ashley Jana has gone beyond the circumstances of her death and has focused heavily on claims that she previously made negative remarks about black men while speaking favorably about white men. Across social media, people have circulated screenshots, reposts, and commentary alleging that she criticized black men as a group, rejected the idea of dating them, and placed white men on a higher level in dating and protection. These alleged remarks have fueled a harsh backlash, with many people arguing that her past words shaped the public reaction to her case. However, the problem is that most of what is circulating appears to come through reposts, reaction threads, and social commentary, rather than a clearly verified original source directly tied to her account. Because of that, it is more accurate to say that she is widely accused online of making anti-black men statements and elevating white men, rather than stating every alleged quote as fully confirmed fact. At the same time, mainstream reporting on her death has focused on the investigation in Zanzibar, the dispute with her fiancé, and her family's demand for answers, not on verifying those older online statements. If the daughters of Zion, delicate, protected, and accountable, the daughters of Zion are delicate and precious. Zechariah 2:8. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you, for he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. This verse establishes Israel as precious in Yah's sight. The apple of his eye represents something highly guarded and sensitive. The daughters of Zion, being part of Israel, fall under this same protection. They are not common, they are set apart and delicate, requiring care, covering, and protection according to the law. Lamentations 4:2, the precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold. Though speaking of sons, this reflects the value of Zion as a whole, including the daughters. Israelite women are not ordinary. They are likened to fine gold, meaning rare, refined, and to be handled carefully. This establishes the principle: the daughters of Zion are not to be exposed or treated as common. The law requires their protection by fathers and authority. Deuteronomy 22:13-21, summary passage, law concerning a daughter in her father's house and her purity. This law shows that a daughter remains under her father's covering. Her purity and protection are his responsibility. If she is violated or dishonored, the matter is judged at the household level. This proves the daughter is not independent. She is guarded under covenant authority. Her protection is part of Yah's law. If the father fails, the structure collapses. This ties directly to your point. If parents reject the covenant, they expose their daughters. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 42, 9-11. Apocrypha. The father waketh for the daughter, lest she pass away the flower of her age. Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter. This apocryphal text directly supports the doctrine. A daughter must be watched and guarded. The father bears responsibility. Her actions affect honor, inheritance, and covenant standing. This confirms that protection is not optional. It is commanded wisdom in Israel. When the daughters of Zion rebel, they lose covering Isaiah 3:16-17. Because the daughters of Zion are haughty, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. Here we see judgment on the daughters of Zion for rebellion and pride. When they reject Yah's order, their beauty is stripped, their protection is removed. They become exposed to judgment. This shows clearly disobedience removes divine covering. The Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, meaning the stress of captivity and the curses will cause the daughters to lose their natural flowing hair. They will wear wigs and weaves because of hair loss, and this brings shame, showing how the Lord took away their natural beauty and glory as a sign of judgment upon Israel. Isaiah 4:1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of 1 man. This is a direct result of judgment. Women become unprotected. There is a shortage of righteous men. They seek covering, but lack structure. This aligns with your statement. When covenant order is broken, women become vulnerable like sheep, without shepherds, or as you said, left to wolves. Leaving the covenant equals losing inheritance. Ezra 9:1-2. The holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. This is critical. Israel mixing with other nations is called corruption of the holy seed. The children produced are no longer counted as pure covenant lineage. This directly supports your point. When a daughter leaves the covenant and joins with heathen nations, her offspring are outside the inheritance structure. Baruch 3:10-11, Apocrypha. How happened it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land? Thou art defiled with the dead. This shows the condition of Israel when scattered and mixed. Living among other nations equals defilement. Loss of identity and covenant standing. The daughters who join themselves to these nations become part of this condition. Children, outside the covenant line. Nehemiah 13:23-27. Their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language. This is powerful evidence. Mixed unions produce children disconnected from Israel. They lose language, identity, and covenant understanding. This confirms your statement. When daughters of Zion bear children with Israel's enemies, the children are outside the covenant culture. They are not raised in the law. They are cut off from inheritance structure. New Testament confirmation. Israel focus. Matthew 10:5-6. Go not into the way of the Gentiles, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. The message of restoration is directed to Israel only. The daughters of Zion are part of the lost sheep. The goal is to bring them back under covenant order. This aligns with your uploaded teaching. The kingdom message is directed specifically to Israel, not all nations universally. Galatians 3:28, proper context. There is neither Jew nor Greek, for ye are all one, as your document explains. This refers to Israelites, Judean plus dispersed, not all nations, meaning the daughters of Zion scattered among Greeks are still Israel. They must return to covenant order, not remain among here. The daughters of Zion are not delicate, so they can live careless, rebellious, and uncovered lives. They are delicate because they are precious, and what is precious is not left unguarded. Yet many daughters of Zion today have confused value with independence and rebellion with strength. That is the deception. Yah never called his daughters to govern themselves outside of order, to follow their own minds, or to imitate the ways of the nations. He called them to holiness, modesty, covering, and obedience. When a daughter rejects that, she is not becoming free, she is becoming exposed. The law makes it plain that a daughter is not without accountability. She remains under authority, protection, and structure. That is not oppression, it is preservation. But this generation hates that idea because it has been poisoned by pride, self-will, and the spirit of the world. Many daughters do not want correction. They want to be seen, heard, admired, and followed, but not governed by righteousness. They want the honor of Zion without the discipline of Zion. That is why many are weak, confused, and vulnerable, because they have stepped out from under the very structure that was meant to protect them. And when fathers, households, and leaders fail to uphold covenant order, the daughters are left exposed. That exposure is not harmless. It opens the door to corruption, mixture, and judgment. Scripture shows that when the daughters of Zion become proud, haughty, and rebellious, Yah strips away beauty, protection, and dignity. He does not reward rebellion with peace. He judges it. What many call self-expression today, Yah calls disorder. What many call empowerment, Yah sees as uncovered pride. And when that spirit takes root, the result is not safety, it is judgment. Once covenant boundaries are crossed, the damage goes beyond the individual. It reaches inheritance, children, language, culture, and future generations. When daughters of Zion join themselves outside of covenant order, the result is not expansion, it is corruption of the holy seed. Children raised out of righteous structure become disconnected from law, identity, and covenant understanding. This is why disorder among the daughters is not a small issue. It is not just personal choice, it is generational damage. It is one more way the scattered remain broken. The New Testament does not erase this. It calls the lost sheep of the house of Israel back, including the daughters. But it does not call them back so they can remain worldly, proud, fleshly, and undisciplined. It calls them back to submission, correction, and restoration. The daughters of Zion are not being invited into modern rebellion with a spiritual title attached. They are being called out of confusion into holiness. They are being called away from the nations, away from vanity, away from sensuality, and back under Yah's order. So this is the rebuke. Stop calling rebellion growth. Stop calling lack of covering freedom. Stop calling pride strength. The daughters of Zion do not need more excuses, they need correction. They do not need more worldly influence, they need righteous order. They do not need more self-definition, they need submission to Yah. Because if they continue rejecting correction, mocking structure, and walking after the nations, then what remains is not protection, but judgment. And a daughter who will not hear will learn the hard way what it means to live outside of divine covering. Table of Contents. Introduction. Yahweh's exclusive covenant with Israel. The purpose of this book. No disparagement of non-Israelite races. The foundations used throughout this book. On the right foundation, Israel's covenant exclusivity, believing Yahweh Shai and the consequences of unbelief. The exclusive nature of Israel in the Old Testament. The exclusive nature of Israel in the New Testament. Part 2. Replacement Theology, examined. Dare we say the Church has replaced the 12 tribes of Israel, hope, the law, and Israel in the New Testament, the exclusivity of Israel in Ephesians, Philippians, and beyond, Redemption and the many. The exclusive nature of Israel in the letters of James, Peter, John, and Jude. Israel in the book of Revelation. Reactions and doctrinal challenges. Next steps in the book. Common reactions to Israel's exclusivity. Reactions to the exclusive doctrine of Israel expanded. Are there 2 or 3 witnesses for exclusive Israel? Separation, the world, and the gospel. Word meanings. Understanding separation and the world. The world, cosmos, or oikoumeni. The 2 differing gospels, stumbling blocks to an exclusive Israel doctrine. Case studies, Israelites in dispersion. Peter's sheet vision, a closer examination. The Ethiopian eunuch, an Israelite in dispersion. The widow of Sarepta, an Israelite in dispersion. The Lord's Prayer, an exclusive Israelite perspective. Extra-scriptural doctrines exposed. The extra-scriptural doctrine of Judeans and Gentiles. Can strangers become Israelites? In thee shall all nations be blessed. That unfortunate word, Gentile. Yahweh Shai's ministry was not primarily to the Judeans or in Judea. Identity, history, and deception. Could the modern Judeans be Israel? Can the Judeans be identified? Josephus in his comments on the Judeans. Does Edom have any marks of identification today? Judeans who are non-Semitic. Historical commentary and records. What is their blasphemy? Anti-Semitism. A tool for deception. Religious and political nonsense. Galatians, promise, and heirship. Galatians and Israel exclusivity. Interpreting Galatians in light of Israel exclusivity. Christos without Yesu, Messiah without Jesus. Can the promises to Abraham's seed be spiritualized? Who are the heirs according to the promise? In Christ versus in Jesus. Neither Judean nor Greek. Who are the Greeks? Israel in the entire New Testament. Sonship, adoption, and faith. Isaac, hearing faith and freeborn sons. In thee shall all nations be blessed. Revisited. The promise in thy seed in the New Testament. The biblical concept of adoption. The placement of a son. Analysis of the 5 adoption verses. Understanding the sons of Yahweh and the doctrine of adoption. Pilgrims, strangers, and Israel, New Testament strangers. Seed, rebirth, and sowing.